I go for vision in the corner to make sure I get my dock in a good place, where all the fish are. And I find these animals as well, which my priest is going to convert, all these walrus, which is really nice. So far, so good. Also picked up the Harmonia's Necklace relic, which is a really, really good relic again. Yeah, just really good relic for every civ. One of the best relics in the game. I go for 5 on wood, which means that because I am trying to go for a heavier boom on water, I'm trying to make lots of fishing ships, so I go for 5 on wood. But what this means is that I'm going to be advancing a bit later, which I actually feel like it's a bit sketchy against Oranos on Midgard. Since Midgard is such an aggressive map, and Oranos is an aggressive god, like this 5 on wood for the bigger fish boom, as opposed to only having 4 on wood and getting everything I need up sooner to advance. I feel like it's a bit sketchy against Oranos. I'm not sure if it was the right decision. In hindsight, I think I probably should have only gone for 4 on wood, or even 3.
Rig.
So I'm just spamming docks everywhere. I'm booming very hard with the fish. I'm trying to get the fish all over the place. What's going on here? Okay. Is the game out of sync? Oh no, I think I just messed up here a little bit. Okay, so I end up getting found by this Prometheans here in this corner. And then I get knocked off making the stock, which is an elusive villager, which is good on him, which is another reason why it's important to advance fast, so I can prevent this stuff from happening. I've also got 10 villagers on gold because I want to grab a second town center once I advance. But then again, that's really, really greedy. It's really, really greedy by me. Since I'm advancing so late against an aggressive god like Oranos, I can't really... Man, this is just so greedy, this 4 town center grab. I see that it just secures this gold mine. And if I get it up, it would be really nice for me. And in my head, I have shifting sands, so if he tries to deny, I can just shift his army back into my base, and then I can get this town center up. Okay, so it gets a bit delayed by these wolves here. And also, right now, I should be getting hand axe, but I remember in this game, I thought I already got hand axe at this point for some reason, but I didn't actually have it, which is really big. Hand axe gives you so much extra gather rate on wood as Egypt. It's just absolutely vital if you have any number of villagers on wood. That's just like more than 4 or 5. You need to have hand axe to make sure they're gathering efficiently. And then I'm also building my army to go to the next stage, but I get spotted here on this town center. He's got Hero Murmillo and my Wadget. My Wadget's going to fall to them. And so I use shifting sands to try and save the town center, but ends up shifting my Pharaoh back. So it was a bit of a mistake by me. I shift the 3 Murmillos back, but it's because the Pharaoh got shifted back. This town center now is in jeopardy because it's not going to be able to build fast enough because my Pharaoh got shifted back. So it's a bit of a mechanical mistake by me having this Pharaoh be shifted back. And in the meantime, I'm also having to worry about the water pressure. Yeah, he's got these biomes coming now. So all these villagers, they get shifted. They get bullied on this town center. I send my Pharaoh up here, thinking it will be enough to save the town center, but it's not. I lose all the villagers here, and then I lose the Pharaoh, and then this town center that's almost complete. It's so close to being complete. It's got like 2,700 health. Like, if it wasn't for the walls here, it actually would have been up. If I didn't If I split my villagers to shockwave better, it would have been up. If I just like, oh, this is so close. It's really frustrating. But I lose this town center here. I lose all these villagers here as well. I lose shifting sands. I lose the Wadget. I lose my Pharaoh. It's just a really, really bad situation for me right now because of this greedy play to grab this town center and the bad shifting sands. It's just really, really huge mistake. And I'm also forgetting about hand axe. So it's a really tough situation for me. So my plan right now is to just try to use the water as much as I can to give myself the best economy and then go heroic, and then maybe I can have some elephants to help me get back into the game. That's sort of my plan right now, but I'm just really behind and I have to defend water. I have to I'm also making some axemen to make sure that I can beat his Murmelo heavy army. Because I will be running out of gold soon, and I have to move to this gold mine. I'm going through Nepthes, and I want to build a Migdol that protects this gold mine and this town center. And he's got all these Murmelo here, and I need to be able to fight them so I can get my Migdol where I want. So I need to make these axemen. Unfortunately, he's not got a very good mix of units. It's like all these units are just Murmelos, and I'm making axemen here, and they're just getting bird countered, and it's enough to make him back off. And my Pharaoh also spawns just in time to be able to get to help get this Migdol up here. I'm also fighting water at the same time. There's a lot going on. Multitasking is really important here. Yeah, as you can see, there's a battle going on right here, but I'm actually focused on the bottom water. I'm trying to kick him off fish while defending my own fish. Fortunately, barooms are quite weak, so I feel like despite me forgetting hand axe, the water fight is actually not going too bad. Also, this Leviathan coming in will be really helpful for me. Okay, so here I pushed really far into his base, and it's not really worth it with the towers and all these buildings here, so I have to back out. What this means is that I'm able to get this Migdol up in this really, really aggressive position, where I'm threatening to push right into his base afterwards. It doesn't protect the gold mine as much. It's like not really in front of the gold mine. It also means he has a chance to push back on the Migdol. But with ancestors and like this huge amount of food, I feel like I can just make lots of elephants from this Migdol and then be very threatening from here. Also, if I grab this town center, this gold is also more or less secure. So that's why I chose to grab this really forward Migdol. But it may have been better to play it safer and put it back a bit, because this Migdol, like, it could be pushed in. It's a very risky Migdol. Into you. And then because on my Leviathan and that, like, I've been able to get these siege boats out pretty soon. I'm actually managing to hold up pretty well on water. He also uses chaos and he gets some of my army, but I split my myth units from my main army, knowing that chaos will happen. So he doesn't actually get my Scorpion Man with his chaos. My Scorpion Man's actually, he ran down here a bit, and then he was like just chilling here right now. So he doesn't get my Scorpion Man. He only gets a few human soldiers. So chaos is actually not that powerful. It did get an elephant though, and the elephant is really big to get. But then now, knowing that he doesn't have chaos, I'm free to make elephants, and then I know that I won't lose 4 elephants to chaos for another 4 minutes. So I feel like that was a bit too early to use chaos. Like maybe you should kill the axeman first, but he doesn't know I'm going for that elephant army. He doesn't know that's what my eco is geared up to do, though he may have been able to guess it because I got so many fishing ships all over the place. And I've also kind of taken away most of his fishing economy, so I'm just really, really ahead in the fishing game compared to him. Despite me losing all these villagers here in this town center, I still actually have a really good eco because I have so many fishing ships. And right here, I see this town center here. So I go for the forward siege works here, and I feel like I could take out this town center. It's like there's no guard towers here. There's no military productions here. There's probably not much here. There might be a palace going up actually. So I should have actually made an obelisk so I could see if he's building a palace here. But yeah, he wasn't. I just like thought this TC would be very exposed, and I could push on it with these siege works, and I think that turned out to be a good plan. Okay, so he's pushing back again. He's trying to take out this Migdol. He's actually got quite an intimidating army. I don't actually have too many units. I've got the Prometheans, but then like this hill fort. I mean, this Migdol is just absolutely melting all the Arcus, and then I've got the priest, the Pharaoh, to come here and help defend against this Promethean. And right now, what he's doing wrong is that he's got his unit split. Like, he's got half his army fighting my army, and the other half is attacking this Migdol. So he needs to choose one and focus on it. I would just get all these myth units, these Prometheans, off of this Migdol and focusing on attacking my army, because they're not going to bring the Migdol down on its own. And it doesn't matter if you do 25% or 50% of a Migdol's health as damage. As long as it's alive, it's going to keep on contributing, and it's going to be a pain. So it's either going to be dead or it's either going to be alive. So you just like, you have to pick a focus. You either attack his army or you attack the buildings. You choose one. You don't split your army like this. And usually it's better to attack the army because they're a lot more fragile than the Migdol. But he doesn't do that. He's instead split half his units on the Migdol. So the fight here doesn't go as well as it could have for him. And I'm still fighting water down here. And I could have also used Ancestors here, actually, because there's a lot of pressure right here. And these trades, they actually look pretty iffy for me. But I chose to hold on to Ancestors because I wanted to use it to push and make sure that one of his town centers goes down. And I felt like with the way that he was attacking this Migdol, it was going to be able to stay up. Like, he wouldn't be able to bring it down. And this aggression eventually does die off. His Chaos isn't up for another 2 minutes at least. Chaos has a 4-minute cooldown, by the way, so you have to keep that in mind. So yeah, I'm able to just spam elephants here, and then because of this sort of divided attention and bad micro, he's not able to take out the Migdol. Then here, I'm garrison all my siege towers for my siege works, but without any army here, I'm not able to push on this town center ordinarily because the citizens, they'll just take out the siege towers so fast. But I really want to take out this town center so I can proceed to get a 4-2 TC advantage and then continue to just keep on expanding my map control. But then I wouldn't be able to take out this town center without any extra army support, but all my army was over here trying to defend the Migdol, so I felt like I had to use Ancestors here to take down the TC, and it's a pretty decent use of it, because it does go down without any problems, and I'm able to just roll in here next and establish myself. But these Ancestors right now, they're kind of being useless, because they're just chasing these citizens. Instead of being in this base, doing damage where they should be. So then I get this town center up immediately after it goes down. And then the Ancestors, it's about to run out. So the siege tower push, it doesn't happen. But I got one of my objectives, which is to take down this town center, but I couldn't do as much damage as I wanted to on his main base. And right now I'm through Thoth. I'm not sure if it was better to go Mythic or to just make more army and push in here, but this Migdol was definitely sort of ambitious. A very ambitious Migdol, so yeah, it's a bit too greedy, so it's going to get denied for a bit. It probably would have been better to just put it next to my town center. I didn't really need to secure this gold mine yet. I wasn't running out of gold. No, so about this stage of the game, it starts to get really important to secure map control. So another thing I should have been doing is just walling up the map right about now. Walling up to make sure he just can't just like roam and side build wherever he wants. But I didn't do that. I just forgot.
In which Gehrig.
But then right now I have a 4-2 TC advantage, and I should have a better late game than Aura with this Master Fish Eco. I can just spam elephants non-stop into Oblivion. So I'm actually feeling like I'm in a pretty good spot right now, despite that. Like, I'm feeling pretty confident, even though my score is a bit lower. Okay, so right now I'm Mythic. This game isn't over yet. I still need to finish this off, but then I start grabbing my equal up, so I get the Book of Thoth upgrade to make sure my gather rates kick into full gear and become really high. I can get these Greek gather rates as Egyptian and have this really awesome late game. That's what Book of Thoth does for you. In the meantime, I still have all this water economy, and I'm just 4-2 TCs. Like judging by his scores, he's got a pretty good economy himself. Like, yeah, he's got a lot of resources, and he can go Mythic soon. But on 2 town centers, it's going to be pretty hard for him, especially without Theia, without the Dryads. He's just not going to have a big enough army to keep on fighting. So I'm not sure what he can actually do here. And he's also got a bit of a gold situation. Yeah, he's got this gold mine. He's trying to secure this gold mine now, the palace, but then all the gold mines are on the other side of the map. This is just one gold mine. I'm not prepared to let him have it, but it's actually not that big of a deal. So I'm just going to fight for it a little bit. Yeah. I move the Phoenix away because the palace does extra damage to it, and I just continue to keep on pushing here. Meteor on his main base. Yeah, so right now with this push, I think the game is pretty much over. Actually, I have to go quite urgently now, so I'm going to just stop the stream.